Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Pizza Motorcast. This is your host, Dave, with special guest online with me, John Warner. How you doing, John? Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you barely. I can hear you now.
You're live on the air, John. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, David.
So, first question I got for you, John, is what made you get into oval track racing?
I guess we're gonna say that it was an opportunity of a lifetime, really.
So, what got you started into it, or what made you want to do it?
Well, I started in rough truck racing. Some people don't know what that is, but it's when you take an old truck and everything, and some people put lift kits in them. Some of them just go out there with four-wheel drives, and some just go stock. Well, mine was a stock Jimmy, and it put a roll cage in it, and we had a TH400 transmission. Had a 500 lift cam, and we did that for a little while, and we had it about 2 years, and then this one guy came to me. His name's Jerry Gardner, and I wanted some pointers about what I could do to my motor, and he told me some, and he said, well, if you want to see something that's more fun than that, I'll give you a chance of a lifetime. I said, what's that? And he said, he took a deep breath and looked around and he says, come on into my shop. And I said, okay. So we went into his shop, and there was a truck, and I said, what's that? And he goes, oh, that's a mini truck. I said, what do you call that? And he goes, well, that's the same thing, but it'd be like a Chevy S10s and things like that run the 4 cylinders and the 6 cylinders. And I said, wow, where do you race that? And he told me, and I said, when can we race that? And he said, as a joke, well, when you get the nerves that you want to do it. And I said, well, let's do it. And he said, well, then meet me at this track with your racing suit, and I'll give you a chance. And here it was.
So now the car that you're currently driving, what kind of car is that?
Exactly. I mean, it was like I said, I started out like feeling like cold trickle at first. I was hitting anything and everything, but after a little bit of hitting the wall and hitting others around, well, I had a few enemies for a while, but you know what? Now they're all my buddies now. So. Now,
John, the car that you're currently racing in, what kind of car is that?
It's a Cavalier. It's 2.2 Ecotech. It's a nice car. So we're looking to build, or else get one built for us for next year. And then we'll go a little bit bigger. We'll go the next engine size bigger, and then maybe a little bit bigger pistons,
Now, have you had some good success with the Cavalier?
What's that?
Have you had some good success with the Cavalier?
My first Cavalier we had, it was a 2.2 Ecotech, and we had some good success with that, but then we wanted to go bigger, so we ended up getting rid of that car and ended up going with a 2.2 Ecotech with computer programmed and we've got some good success with that. It took some seat time, but not too bad.
Now, after all the years of racing, now what still keeps you passionate about it?
The one thing I will say success, all the racing through the years is I have 14 go-kart championships to my name, and that's all on a road course, and I can't thank my family enough to allow me to go to the go-kart place that is here in Columbus, Ohio, and have a chance and opportunity to race in the circuit there.
Now, do you have any sponsorship?
Yes, I do. There's a place called Calico Coverage, a little fabric store in my little hometown. She's been with me from the beginning of time. I have a sponsorship through Jake's Performance. I have a couple little other guys. I was sponsored with when I first started racing on oval. I was with Amsoil, and that guy. I don't know where he is currently, but he was a really great guy to me. He supported all my oil and everything. and we can only run the best oil you can get. And now I've gotten a little smarter with technology, and the next thing I've done now is I've looked around at how to go with oil with keeping the engines cooler, and it's between me and you, and now everybody's going to know, but I use semi-oil that I buy, which is full synthetic. I buy it over there at the auto parts store, and it's a whole lot cheaper, and the engine stays about 20 degrees cooler.
Wow, that's pretty interesting fact there.
Yeah, and then the antifreeze, that's another hush-hush, but nobody knew what I was going to do it, but I was running the trucker synthetic blend with the antifreeze, and that keeps my car about 10 degrees to 20 degrees cooler on a hot day, so I can't thank that enough. And then also, when I first started on oval track, I was dealing with a single fan. Now I run a whole different setup. It's a dual fan, so and it keeps the engine a whole lot more cooler too. When I'm seeing everybody out there blowing up, I'm thinking, is it going to be my turn this time? And knock on wood, we've not blown up one engine yet.
Now, besides yourself, John, do you have any other crew members for that car?
Well, I'd like to thank, of course, I want to thank Jerry Gardner for getting me started, but I want to thank my fiance, girlfriend, whatever you want to call her. I call her my master of everything. Like, she's great. I mean, she's had my back from the beginning of racing and everything. And Stacy, I want to thank her, and I want to thank my parents. I mean, my dad, when I was in the rough truck, he was there to help me. And now that he's gotten older, he says, boy, it's out of my league. It's up to you now. So I pretty much do all the work myself with my girlfriend, or whatever you want to call her, significant other, how that's what you just call it. And she helps me out in the garage, and she knows that sometimes, like coming up this coming year, because I'm a truck driver, that I'm putting on more miles on the truck, and she's willing to do it. And I said, okay, and she'll be changing my oil while I'm on the road.
So you're the main crew member for your car?
Well, yeah, and then I have a few guys that, they odds and ends, they help out at the racetrack. They have their own cars, and that's the nice thing about some of these tracks you go to. They're your friends and in the pits, and then when it comes to race time, well, when we strap those 5-point harnesses on and we put our helmets on, well, we become rivals.
Now, the number for your car, 82, is there any meaning behind the number?
Yes, sir. Number 82. This is a significant number, but myself and I graduated in 2000, so I was born in 1982. And my first car I ever had, my buddy from school said, "Hey, we need to share numbers." I said, "What?" And then the next thing, he took me to his race shop, and he races on the road courses up in mid-Ohio. And so I was like, wow, that's pretty neat. So then, that's pretty much where we had the 82 numbers.
So tell us about the first win that you ever got in motorsports.
Well, my first win ever on a go-kart, that was a blast. I mean, racing on this indoor go-kart track, it was just amazing. I mean, just like you did your time trials and all that kind of stuff. And you want to get, just anybody could come in there. But on the nights I was racing with guys that would race it in Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, Michigan. These are guys that were like semi-pros, wearing the chest guards and all that kind of stuff with carts that were owned by the go-kart place. And when I was able to, my first win, to go from the 12th position go to the front, I mean, it was like the best thing ever. And I never looked back. And then for like 3 weeks in a row, I took trophy after trophy from these guys. And these guys are like, what's going on? And then they regrouped. But you know what? Since then, I don't look back at all the success I've had there.
All right. Now, what is your what's your personal code of conduct out on the track?
What does that mean? I mean, I confused that a little bit there.
What is your personal code of conduct out on the track?
I would say when I totaled my race car a few years ago that my family didn't know about. My mom and dad weren't there, and my family didn't hear from me for a little while I was on the truck. But I rolled my car 18 and a half times, and that was the scariest moment of my life. I literally thought I was going to die.
Wow.
And I just remember I looked over real quick, and I unhooked the window net, and I wasn't able to get my belts off, and I couldn't believe it, and because I was just like so startled. But then I had the guys that were like God to me. They were phenomenal. They were right there in a matter of no time. They got me out, and then they took me to the hospital, and I thank the good Lord every day for that, because all I ended up with was a bruised up chest, and that was about it, and no broken bones. And we waited a year and rebuilt, and then last year I was at another track, and I ended up rolling my car 8.5 times, and that was really wild. I mean, I started on the pole, and during the heat race, and it was my first time ever at the track to actually race, and that night it was a double feature. So the first feature, we started 18th and got up to 10th and finished, and I was all excited. And one of my friends that comes around the track, a little youngster, his name is Nate, and he said, "Hey, John." I said, "What, Nate?" He said, "I'm going to go pull your pill while you work on the car." I said, "Well, okay." I said, "You better draw a good number, or we're going to not let you around no more." And he told me, he run back to me, he says, John. I said, "What, Nate?" He goes, "I just drew you the pole." I said, "Yeah, right." And everybody that was there around my car was all laughing. He goes, "I'm serious." And we rode on the little side-by-side mini thing he had, and we rode up there to up to the little booth, and I'll be dang, he was right. And I was like, "Man, you got to kid me." And we got a picture of it and everything, and he was all excited. And we got back to the car, and we were working on some more, and we did some adjustments, got it into the staging lane, and he walked up to me and says, "Good luck, buddy." And I got on the lap 6 of 8, and out of nowhere, the car dug into the dirt, and it flipped. And that was a really heroic ride. I thought I was going to be really hurt. And I thank the Lord for that, too, because I was so upset because it flipped over. We were in 10th in points at another track, and we were moving up quick, and I was really excited there, and I ended up cutting the belts off, and the car was destroyed. Bent the chassis in the back.
Wow.
Yeah, and the whole front end the whole subframe was destroyed. There was no fixing that car. It was really bad. It rolled from one end of the corner to the next, and I was laying upside down for almost 10.5 minutes to get out. But once we got out, I sat up against the car for a while, because it was at least 10 to 20 minutes I sat up against the car, out of breath, just felt like somebody kicked me with an elephant.
Well, thank the good Lord you made it out okay.
Amen to that.
So now, John, I'm sure you meet a lot of fans at the tracks and get asked a lot of questions. What's been one of the most awkward questions you've ever been asked by a fan?
Well, the one major question, Dave, is they asked me is, how did I become a cancer driver? How did I get a Jake's High Performance jersey? And how did I get part of a cancer foundation? Well, I was back in Rough Truck. I saw this cancer sticker on the side of a toolbox there at the Jags warehouse, and I said to my mom, "I want that on my car." And she was like, well, you'll have to ask. And I asked the guy that was bringing my part out, and he was like, well, how big do you want it? So I told him, and he was like, looks at my mom and looks at me, and he says, we can make that happen. And when I got started in that, at first I thought he was just kidding around, and he was the real deal. He gave us a sticker, gave me a couple T-shirts and hats, and he says, here, give this to your family and give this to your couple fans, and we'll see what we can do for you later. Well, here I am now, a little over 9 years later, and now I'm just excited to have the J-Shot Performance jersey and have the fire suits I wear from them, and I'm very blessed to have that. And then I'm also blessed to have what I have on the back of my fire suits. Like I have people that have passed away, or people that, like my mom and a couple others, on the back of my fire suits, I have their ribbon on there with their names on it. So.
All right. So now, what's the biggest thing that you contribute to your success?
Well, I want to thank the good Lord for that, because without Him and without my family and my friends, we just wouldn't be where we're at today. I mean, honestly, there was many times I just wanted to get up and give up and move on, but you know what? I've learned to just keep on trucking, not to give up.
Now, what do you love most about being a racer?
What's that?
What do you love most about being a race car driver?
Probably the fan club. I just love going to the racetrack. The one thing I love doing is I have a bunch of Jags hats, and so I'll go in front of the crowd and get them pumped up, and I'll be like throwing the Jags hats up in the crowd. And I love fan appreciation night and kids night. They come into the crowd and they come into the pits and see us, and we have pictures of the car and everything, and I sign them. And I don't just stand there over top of these kids. I actually get down to their level, and I ask them what their name is, and ask them how old they are and how their day is, and I'll say good luck, and I'll see you around, or stay in school, or whatever it is. And I always offer to get a picture with these kids. Like they say, these kids are our future racers, and I do believe that wholeheartedly.
Now, is there anything that you hate about being a race car driver?
I guess the one thing is when the fans get mad. They start booing the crowd, or somebody wins every week. Well, you know what? I'm not a winner every week. And knock on wood, I've never won a race. But there's been times I've won heat races. But winning a heat race to me is like winning the Indy 500.
So now, John, if you could have your fans remember one thing about you, what would you want that one thing that they remember about you to be?
How caring I am to the fan base. I just love getting down like these children. Like I said, I don't just stand there. I'm actually getting down to like on my one knee, and I'll sign an autograph or two, or if they when I'm in the crowd, I'll go up and watch the late models or modifieds or sprints, whatever, and I'll be wearing my uniform and a kid or my fire suit, one of the two, or all the above, and my family will be sitting there, and if a kid runs down and wants an autograph, I have no problems in signing. I even bring pictures of my own car up into the crowd with my Sharpies hooked to my fire suit, and if a kid asks me, they ask me. If they don't, well, sometimes I'll even just, if I see a kid in the background that spots my eyes, I might just sign a picture and say my name and the number, and just hand it to the little lad or little girl.
Now, do you put kids in the seat of your car?
Yes, I have. I've done that, and I've also done charity races for, like we did Relay for Life a couple years ago. We took my car actually to the Relay for Life, and the cool thing is with my car is very unique because I will actually leave the handles on my car, and I've had people try to open my car. They'll be like, "Oh, how do we get in the car?" And you kind of want to sit back and laugh, and you say, "Well, you crawl through the window," and they're like, "What was the handles for?" And we say, "Just to make you look silly, just like you just did."
That's good. Now, are they able to climb in?
Yes, they are, I allow them to do that. And see, I have a kill switch, and this is a safety feature. It's up in the front left. It's the master kill switch. I have one down by my shifter, and then in the back of the car. But in the back of the car, that's the master kill switch. So if you don't have that key, guess what? You might just drove to the track for no reason without that switch.
Wow.
Without the key.
So now, John, do you think you could get any better as a driver? And if so, how do you achieve that?
I think just studying the track more. I mean, I'm able to have friends that are this year. They're going to be coming out in the 2021 season, and they're actually going to help me like with the different tire sizes. I mean, I've always been with almost the same size, maybe one size bigger or not, but always with the 15-inch tire. But now the track I want to go to possibly next year will be running 14-inch tires, and I was over there at Brownstown Speedway, and I was studying a bunch of these guys were running 14s, and I'm like, So then I went from car to car, and I realized that almost everybody was running the 14 tire. And I said to my girlfriend, I said, "Oh, we're going to be buying some 14s." And she said, "Baby, whatever you want to buy for this car, that's what we're going to put in on this car. You just tell me what we need to buy for it, and we'll go together on it as a couple."
That's nice to have that kind of support.
Yes, sir. You need your spouse's support. If you don't have your spouse to have your support, well, we're all in the wrong business.
Yep. So now this year, with the crazy year with the COVID-19, have you been able to get out and race at all?
Really, not really. I mean, we went to go to study some tracks, like go watch and like get some techniques and ask some questions, like what. We all don't run the same cage. A lot of people do, but I want to know like where to place weight, and if we're able to put weight, and if who runs a kill cell and who doesn't, and like tire sizes, and like if people are changing gear ratios, or if people are running manuals or automatics and things like that.
Now, are there any race car drivers that you look up to at all?
Yes, I do. I look up to my favorite. I think there's a few of them. Tony Stewart. He is probably one of my favorites. But as of late, I've got to hang out with him, and that would be Jack Haudenschild and Sheldon Haudenschild out of Worcester, Ohio, that run sprint cars in close to my hometown. And I've actually got to meet them, and I've seen them race in several times, and I'm like, wow, if I could run a sprint car, I would love to do it. But you know what? I actually acknowledge how much these guys have, how much they show their fans. I mean, and then I guess going to the track as a child, for going to the NHRA from then until what my age is now, and seeing these drivers actually showing the kids that they actually care. I mean, some drivers won't get down on one knee, but that's where I learned. When I was young, I got to see Joe Amato, for an example, get down on one knee, and he asked me what my name was. And I told him my name was John Warner, and he asked where I was from. And I told him right down the road here. And he was like, really? So we chatted a little bit, and that's when he was down on one knee. And he asked me a couple questions, asked me what my age was and everything like that. And he was like, well, thanks for coming and everything. And that was a really, a big step for me to realize, you know what, if I ever become a race car driver, I want to put my fans first and then plus God. And that I was blessed that I was able to see that in real life. And now I watch some other drivers like, what's his name, Jack, Jack Fast. Well, I can't think of his last name.
Jack
He
Beckman?
works for Don Schumacher Racing.
Jack-
Yes, Jack Beckman, thank you. And he gets down one knee right in front of the crowd, right in front of the kids, and signs autographs for them. And I love it. And the more I watch these people getting down to kids' level, the more I wanted to pursue the dream of, you know what, I need to show that I care, not just sitting in a lawn chair. I want to get down to these children's level because I know they're just little, but, you know, sometimes you just got to get down to their level to feel young again, too.
Yep.
Like, there's times I'll see kids, like, I'll be walking through the pits, and I know fellow drivers that have younger children, and like we have, and they'll be pushing little, like, dirt cars, pushing in the dirt. And I'll go over there with my fire suit on. I don't care. I'll go over and grab a Matchbox car, and I'll go race on their little track on my belly like they are. And these kids love it. And their parents go, wow, you just took your fire suit and got it dirty to go play with these kids. And I'll be like, well, you know what? Sometimes you just got to step back and realize you want to be a kid too.
Yep. Now, when you get out on the track, John, do you have any pre-race rituals or superstitions?
Like, what do I expect on the track or what?
No, when you get on the track, you know, before you get in the car, before a race, do you have any pre-race rituals or superstitions at all?
Well, yes. Regardless if I'm going out for hot laps or if I'm going out for the main feature, I always pray with my family. And then I might be in the staging lane and I'll pray with my family. But then the one thing is, I'll pray with my family and my friends if they want to. But most of the time it's my family. And then I'll pray with my girlfriend. And then even after she puts the window down, the window net up, I'll be in the staging lane, and I'll hear in the race receiver like 2 to go or whatever, and we'll, put our cars up after the checker goes. When we go onto the starting grid, we'll sit in the front of the crowd, and they'll say our names and our sponsors. And while they're doing that, I might be sitting there in neutral, and I'll just be praying to myself, like for safety for myself and everybody around me.
Now, for your race car, does it take a lot of preparation to get that car ready for a weekend?
I don't want to say yes, and I don't want to say no. There's those nights that you have to look around, ask around, like what kind of tire pressures are you running, and ask around questions, and that's the one thing I love about it is some guys will tell you and some guys won't, but then sometimes it's just trial and error. But a lot of times the prep is like when we're on our way to the track, we'll take the car and we'll get it washed and then go right into the track.
Now, do you think you would ever try drag racing?
I don't know. I don't know. That's a whole lot more money than what I've got.
All right. Now, do you have any favorite tracks to race on?
My favorite track is probably Hilltop Speedway in Millersburg, Ohio. Wayne County Speedway, which is about maybe half an hour the other way. But we're going to try out Brownstown Speedway in Indiana this coming year. But my favorite of all time track has to be Eldora Motor Speedway.
All right. Now, throughout your racing career, what milestones have you reached so far?
What was that now? You broke up there.
I said, throughout your racing career, have you hit any milestones?
I guess the first year we just could not get the car. We couldn't get the features. Well, we made it into the feature, but we just never finished a race. And it reminded me of watching Days of Thunder. But then Jerry said, and I didn't know how to set up the truck. And Jerry was like, well, if you just would listen to me, we could set it up. And then the next year, he took me to the track to test a couple times, and he was like, if you listen to me, we'll win races. And I said, really? He goes, yeah, if we don't win races, we'll finish a race. And the very first race we went out there, we started back in the back, way back there, and we finished really well. I mean, we finished, I think that race was like 12th, and I thought I won the Indy 500 for winning that, just getting that far up, and able to succeed that, and then slowly we moved up from that.
Now, do you have any hobbies outside of racing?
Oh, yeah. I like to go snow tubing with my family. I like to go on vacation, of course, down to Tennessee. But I don't want to say it's a hobby, but it's my job. But it's driving truck. I mean, being able to go to all these different states. And I just hit a milestone with that, speaking of which. I've driven in every state but Hawaii and Alaska and a semi.
Wow. That's a lot of driving, huh?
And we're not talking about skimming the states. I'm talking about actually going through the states. So.
Now, have you won a lot of trophies in your racing career?
Nothing on dirt yet, but I think in the near future we're going to have some coming to our way. But on the go-kart circuit, we've got 14 to ourselves. So.
All right, now, John, if you were able to, hit a time travel machine and go backwards in time, would you do anything differently with your racing career?
Most definitely. I would have started much younger in age.
All right. Now, you ready for some fun questions here?
Let's go.
What's your favorite food?
Hot wings.
You like the chicken hot wings, huh?
That's right. Well, I'm a 8-time chicken wing challenge eater for the hottest wings in the state of Ohio.
That's pretty neat. What's your favorite beverage?
I'm sorry, gotta keep it PG, but we'll say Mountain Dew. But if it was an adult beverage, we'll have to say a Michelob Ultra or My Car Lemonade.
All right. Favorite movie of all time?
Days of Thunder and Top Gun.
Favorite music?
Anything country.
You like new country and old country both, or do you like more old country?
No, more modern.
All right. Now, when you were grown up as a kid, did you have a favorite cartoon to watch on TV?
Tom and Jerry.
All right. When you're at the track for a day of racing, how's your eating habits? Do you eat regularly, or do you wait till after the races are done to eat more?
Well, I might eat a hamburger or a hot dog during the track, but you know what? When we leave the track, it's time to really go down and eat. I'm going to make this a statement in 2021, and if Stacy's listening to this, we're going to go to the Waffle House. That was our probably best thing when I used to go to Columbus Motor Speedway.
All right, what's been your most embarrassing moment out on the track?
When I spun the points leader out, and then I was a lap down, and when after I spun him out, I thought it was kind of funny, but he didn't think it was funny. But he ended up jumping out of the car on the last race of the year and threw a big chunk of clay at my car, right through the window net. the funniest slick about that was he was the points championship, but the points winner. But because he did that, he ended up getting DNQ'd for the whole season.
Wow.
So I guess that would be the most embarrassing but the funniest moment.
All right. What's your biggest pet peeve?
I guess when people gang tackle you on the track. They want to bump you like you're in the movie Days of Thunder. But now I'm the one giving back the respect of that to the young guns.
All right. What's your favorite color?
As car color or just anything?
Yeah, in general.
Oh, well, I would have to say black because of Dale Earnhardt Jr. Not Junior, Senior, I mean.
I know if someone listens to this interview and they're thinking about becoming an oval track racer, what kind of advice would you give them?
Well, I guess we'll have to go with Ricky Bobby. If you ain't first, you're last.
I don't think you understood what I asked you. I said if someone's listening to this interview and they're thinking about becoming an oval track racer, what kind of advice would you give them?
Never give up on your dreams. Just pursue your dreams, I guess you would say.
Right. So now, if people want to find out where you're going to be racing at, what's the best way for people to follow you at?
Look me up on Facebook and probably before the season starts, we'll start up a fan page on Facebook, and then it'll probably go under Team Warner 82. Or else just maybe, if we don't go all that extent, we might go under Warner Racing at 82.
So now, what would you consider to be the fondest memory of your racing career?
What was that?
What would you consider to be the fondest memory of your racing career?
I guess just spending time with my dad and mom and my brother, starting it out.
So you like it that it's a family, or it's a family thing for you. That's what you love about it.
Exactly. Yeah. If I could afford every week, my mom and dad would be at the track every week. And if they weren't so far away, I would pick them up and we'd go to the track every week.
Now, do you have any kids?
Yes, I do. I have the girl I'm dating. She has 2 children. They might as well be my children too. One daughter is 10, the other one is 7, and then we have a 18-month-old.
Now, do the 2 older ones like racing?
Oh yeah, they are really big into the racing, but then they're big into the monster trucks. So I am friends with multiple monster truck friends on Facebook, and I also am friends with them in person. And Charlie Parkins, that lives up in Toledo, Ohio, I know him quite well, and I know his family. So there's a hush-hush deal that we're going to take our oldest daughter up to the track, up to his house sometime soon, and she can meet the actual Gravedigger driver, not just pushing little toys around and having remote control cars. I mean, they're more, I don't want to say tomboys. They might as well have been boys, not tomboys, because they spend more time working on the car with me and their mom, and I think eventually we're going to have to probably put them in the car and let me sit back and be the one to mechanically work on the car.
Yeah, there you go. Well, John, I want to thank you very much for taking time to do this interview tonight.
Well, I'm glad you invited me, Dave.
No problem. We'll do another one in the future. Now, do you have any final words?
I just want to thank everybody that supports me, my friends, my family. Jesus Christ, I want to thank you, Dave, for giving me this opportunity.
No problem. You have a great night, John.
You too, sir.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.